Well then, it's good to see you. If I may introduce myself, I'm Captain Gilbert McCracken, pilot of the Bay and River Delaware. Although I am a lifelong resident of Lewistown, I have spent many hours and days sailing the coastal waters that surround this sleepy little town situated on the Cape. I earned my sea legs as a captain's servant during the American Revolution. I went to sea in 1778 when I was just 12 years old. Our ship was captured, and I spent the next 2 years on board a prison ship. And while I can't be positive, it was rumored that none other than the Marquis de Lafayette bought my freedom for 5 guineas. In 1793, when I was just 27, I was once again on board a ship that was fired upon by a belligerent. I was piloting the British ship, the Grange, under the command of Captain Hutchinson. We anchored near the buoy of the Brown with Cape Henlopen Light, about 12 miles distant, waiting for a favorable wind to carry us out to sea. A frigate, which we later found out to be L'Embuscade, a 20-gun ship, approached us flying British colors. As she drew within 2 miles of us, she hauled down the British flag, and when within hailing distance, she hoisted the French colors. Captain Hutchinson hoisted the British colors, and immediately thereupon, the frigate discharged a ball that passed over us. Our colors were struck. We were boarded by the French and claimed as a prize. The crew of the Grange was then taken to the French ship, and a prize master and crew took over. We then proceeded up the bay, returning to Philadelphia. Now here we are 20 years hence, and I find myself entwined in another war. Why, just Tuesday last, Lewistown endured a 22-hour bombardment, precipitated by Commodore James P. Beresford aboard the HMS Proctier. In March, Beresford set a blockade with his fleet at the mouth of the bay. His request for cattle and hay was refused by Daniel Rodney, the magistrate in town. In response, a group of pilots had formed a regiment under the command of Captain William Marshall, and we mustered at the fort that was built along Lewes Creek at Front Street and South Street, less than a block from my family's home. At about 10:30, we heard the ship's guns thundering out on the bay. 12, 18, and 32-pound cannonballs began to rain down on our village and in the marsh in between us and the shore. Solid shot, as well as canister, began to take their toll on the shingled homes of our town, though many of the balls were falling short. We returned fire, giving as good as we got, and when it was discovered that the 12-pound balls sent our way by the British fit our guns, we truly returned fire. The incendiary rockets used by the British were the most frightening. Packed with material meant to set fire to homes and scorch the earth, they screamed over our heads. Most providentially, they all passed over, landing harmlessly in the fields behind. At the conclusion of the bombardment, Beresford withdrew, leaving us relatively unscathed. My home received a direct hit, with a 12-pound ball burrowing over 3 feet into the foundation. Few citizens in the town were injured, and none killed. So it is important to send a message to the Commodore, letting him know that Commodore Beresford and all his men wounded a pig and killed a hen.